My never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. I see them yopo.
Abuja for say dear mekana say asemunu ayedin pa and say chairman Wontumi on one kasa the radio station IFN Wontumi FM and Wontumi TV omo station no ene abrantia or hosti omo morning show your friend Oheneba Abuja ene omake kabi e de akire MPP mrashe bedwafo ane eye Kojo Oppong Nkrumah mu a oma sobere mo ma no e de ato Sammy Gyamfi ni Goldbod for so omo kire mu a ne eye omo mrashe bedwafo eye no enye ne kwan no omo ma ho kwan na oman no enko nanim na the way a Goldbod is you kono nyoma koyie because nyoma bi koso wabanda dan mu ka bobo bi beba mu a ka ye kan kasabre no wo sen komo so ka ma ho kwan ma mra hwehwem na ba ne sen na ne de na abusha o ma kire o ma dwen e de a kire eye fe ne sen okay. Africa Ghana Parliament. Emra Sisiano. Abusia aha aye PENDREAM TV message also subscribe to the channel. Subscribe button no ena e won sani faso for message say subscribe ama na boa me juma atunpom. Na wa like video no share to other platforms so ama to me abua yi. Abusia yanko na yankuti enkomo no Emra e wo Wontumi TV.
Benadum boko na onzo wapom te say.
Nyankopon da ro ma me ho ye ba.
The Nyankopon say 2025 not to say politically personally OND and say
oh nyame adom
da Nyankopon ase ma menu eni nkomo kakra na yenhwe eniema da bia afino ekwana wie na yedi bu nkompo akwahwe achi a yedi ejina so ehwe kanka edwade ho nsansam Ghana sika ho nsansam oman ntotoye ne nchechireye the first year of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama yeberem the second year you think say prospect no to say
Oheneba medase mechia Ghana fo nyina mechia watie fo nyina I think over 2025 now we share the budget of NDC for 2025 you can see largely I'll give the president if he throw away partisan lenses but Maga say president at least when it comes to the management of the microeconomic indicators of the economy now remember the 80 to 90%. Yeah, it's really done well because share inflation of or inherited inflation of 23% from us by the end of the year 2025 or they are called around 6%. That is a serious achievement. Very, very serious achievement. Because share the first 4 years of John Mahama from 2012 to 2016 when Timia achieved a single digit inflation that throughout the 4 years of his first term. That. To that the second term first year, Abra on only free power no the inflation of around 16 to 17% at the DJI. By the end of our first year in government, 16-17% inflation mama DJI, there it could be around 12%. Now the share on inflation ADJ of 23%. Now the second term, by the end of the second term, or the cost 6%. Or he deserves even more than 80 to 90%. As a matter of fact, if you want to be sincere as an analyst. Oshe exchange rate Obekaya exchange rate was one of the major reasons why Bahama Kotinafi, na era Dr. Mahmoud Baobia, economic lectures and all of that. Ghana for confidence in the New Patriotic Party. At that time, the dollar to a cedi was $1, 3 cedis, 40 pesos, to moving towards 4 cedis. But restoring the value of the cedi lecture by Baumia clearly demonstrated to Ghanaians that Mahama was incompetent then. But I don't know, 4 years now, the Korea could do 17 cedis now. But if you are Bamuna, 14, 15 cedis. To share that inheritance now on your free around $1 to 14 to 15 cedis. Now at the end of 2025, or they buy $1 to 10 cedis, 51 pesos. However, he deserves more than 80 to 90%. So I think there are some of the policies captured in the budget in their manifesto, like a big push and 24-hour economy and all of that. I don't know. I'll score him very low because he know evidence of 24-hour economy running. He know evidence of projects of big push across the country. So, at 2025, they did badly on that aspect. But when it comes to the microeconomic indicators of the economy, international reserve or the economy, debt restructuring, government shares, giving of fiscal space, and money to start to do some of these things. But most of the money is under the domestic debt exchange program. I mean, okay, so about that throughout 2025. So one thing is to from pensioners and all the bondholders and all of that, because Arthur Forson did very well to commit himself of honoring all the checks under the domestic debt exchange program. So they are seriously done well when it comes to the monetary and the fiscal policy implementation and the management of the macroeconomic indicators, which our government failed woefully, are a costly and humiliating defeat in 2024. So in some way, we've done a tougher when it comes to my general overview of Mama performance throughout 2025. Microeconomic indicators, moving the inflation from 23 to 6%, moving from the dollar to 14, 15 cedis to 10 cedis, 51 pesos, and also paying the domestic debt exchange bondholders and all of that to make sure that there's no too much noise in the economic space. I think that I'll score him 70 to 80%.
Right. And pay me because we are discussing something that affects Obia, irrespective of your political divide. To say the Okas exchange rate na at the above form no. One would ask, what do you think they have done specifically? Ama ya achieve me, and then the assurance of sustaining it no. So to say.
One thing I think that Ometimi Abuama yenya stability of our currency against the trading currency being the dollar, the pounds, and all the other currency. I'll look at from a fiscal policy regime whereby governments was spending a lot in the economy. He was trying to fix the mess, so they were very careful when it comes to government spending. And they were able to raise a lot of taxes. They want to talk of fiscal policy under the jurisdiction of the Minister of Finance. Is about how to raise the revenue through taxes and all of that, and how to judiciously spend government's money in terms of resource allocation, payment of contractors, making sure that funds are released to the MD, that the other ministry, department, agencies across the country. So in terms of the resource mobilization, they did very well. But in terms of spending, they used a fiscal strategy not to spend too much in the economy, to control the inflation, and also to make sure that they will not compound the mess they came to make. So not spending that much, but raising the revenue, the international reserves, and all of that. Economo Atoforson did very well. And over the currency stability now, I can say one of the, apart from the other external factors, sometimes every government doesn't have much control by external factors, but the internal factors, external factors, are favorable to this government. Unlike our time, and they're very unfavorable. But internal factors, they also did very well by making sure that something like Goldbod, they buy, which some of us initially, I said, I still stand by it, I'm against the monopolization. But notwithstanding, they have used the Goldbod to really help to make sure that we have a stability of the exchange rate regime throughout the 2025. Yet me witness in that manner. Yet me end a year for the first time within Christmas activities. Yeah, we say dollar ne cost too much because Christmas the phone will be $80. Now my dollar ne but because the Ghana Goldbod initiative partnership with the Bank of Ghana and the Minister of Finance, Wontumi have a lot of reserves through the Goldbod purchasing of the gold from the system, and also Boama Sidinia Modenpa Etimi ND for the first time at $1 to 10 50 pesos during festive season. So I think that's something that Wontumi Yetiminya that stability of the cedi against the dollar, the pounds, and the other trading currencies.
All right. So I'm happy you are.
I was about anti. Ebra. Obisa no efa Goldbod and send someone and ekoba and say odekotwi ewura mu say efa de minority no Kojo Oppong Nkrumah mo kafa Sammy Gyamfi ni Goldbod no and Sammy no akosi sen ene so odweno sen ene nsu ehwa kase ehwa man kase epete oso ebusiafo okire na adwe ankasa ohode okeka na adwene akire mu se Debbie baby MPP for namono de minority no baby omunam de over the bar but na sebio BBC na samo beka ho asamo a na ni sei Debbie enye sei na wose ye faso na ye gi Ghana for sabi ye bibima ehye Ghana for munyam ma se Ghana for dwen se ye adwuma because ye hu fin boni a ye di ye enye bi kramponie na ye for so se chinchina abusa yanko ne yankoto ankomo no so sade eye otoa ne nsam so edefa Goldbod and Sammy Gyamfi ehono
introduce Goldbod into the discussion maybe so later but oka say adeba kom ye ne say na omun spend enti control the fiscal space no any inflation no not spending no on the other side how does it affect the ordinary Ghanaian say abai decided say on spend there
abai decided say on spend there affected the microeconomic level of the national economy. I don't know how individual purchasing power, you're buying and selling and all of that. Because when you see the macroeconomic policy raising revenue, but you need to spend it through the micro to make sure that the micro level they will feel it. You go to your contractor car, a change value, or more motion as in a bank, will be ordinary, will be clear. Yes, after individuals get money and they start to spend, which where the microeconomic level, no, people feel it in their pocket. So you could see that they mentioned earlier, no, they did very well in the microeconomic space, but because they decided not to spend that much, the microeconomic level was affected. The people were not seriously feeling it in their pocket, and the desire or the purchasing power of the people were not that strong because the government refused to release the money he has been able to make through prudent management of the macroeconomic indicators. So I think that in this year budget, they have assured Ghanaians that they are going to spend a lot into infrastructure, the big push, and all the other outstanding projects that is contained in their manifesto and maybe 2025 budget, maybe rollover. When the moment they do that, the micro level of people having a purchasing power, having the feel of the economy, the microeconomic success in their individual pockets at the microeconomic level, maybe we will be able to see it in this year.
So, inflation above from exchange rate above from near the day, it is expected, sir, and Enema Boba from now, man, for your purchasing power, no. But we are seeing the other way around. Why?
Exaggerated too much, and so now you are not being honest. The first Abano it wasn't Abano and Cassette, and said, but yes, it cannot bad. I'll not even spend a city in the economy. That is not the case. Because prior to Christmas, the government issue directive said they should release money to pay some of the contractors and all of that. The government spend back one go in a reckless manner. He spent within budget and they did overspend. Or someone can say he spent under budget. So Abano or discussed by economy back. It should have been more than what they push into the economy. So yes, people didn't get excess, but you can't say amount for what trauma to the level that they can't buy anything, and I said their purchasing power was worstly or badly affected. When you do that, you are not being honest and sincere. As far as
prices of goods and services. The price of goods and services.
Price of goods and
people
services.
Are saying above from because inflation has come down to a single digit. And I said it doesn't generally work like that.
No, it doesn't generally work like that. When the inflation comes down, first, price stability. Inflation is above from no to make inflation above from no still now no page on you'll be exposed. So when inflation comes down, it puts businessmen and traders in a tight corner. You can't raise it. What is the measure? And just a Bema price and a bet two. And I say the price was, let's say, a 10 cedis at inflation of 20%. Now inflation about 10%. So automatically it's coming to 5 cedis now. What it means is that the 10 cedis, it can go up again. It can keep there or it can come below like 9 or 8. And relatively, you could see that most traders, most business, and most shops are they maybe near 1,000. Your match is about 800 or 700. There are a lot of price reduction in some of the products on the market because I quite remember a bag of rice last year. Once a year, we have metacha rice. One bag of rice may turn around 500 or 600, but this year the same rice they turn 350. So you can see there's a serious price reduction. So there are some products, goods and services, you could see some reduction in the pricing. Some also it was kept as it was, and we didn't see astronomical.
Now, I want your candid opinion. This time, as a Ghanaian, Gyamfi MPP, this is someone to you mentioned Goldbod. In the last days of last year, we said the minority press conference. If you are the Wula Balu on social media, where you try, now where you try, yes, you go board for Boka, and I say, almost okay, yes, you're not to a cababem, but the yes, said the bayano, forest stability, no, your candid opinion on this, I say, Razak.
That's it, and this one. I'll be very objective, very honest, and very sincere. Without the partisan spectacle, I can say the press conference by Honorable Kojo, Oppong, and the other MPs was needless, and even them calling for bipartisan parliamentary probe into the supposed 214 million losses at IMF that was also completely bogus without justification. Because so the IMF for I'm pointing out that you know the parliament no money. If you are a serious parliament and you want to have parliamentary oversight, you want to wait for IMF to come out to say 240 million loss be a happening with Goldbod and I know what be it. That means you are not being serious about your work. And in business, they call it opportunity cost. So what is that?
Yeah. Me was gonna be tired, but me mad crow. You're a business student. I'm a science student.
In business, accounting, and finance, we have something called opportunity cost. In economics, we call it economic loss. So everyone is me a business person. Makofa niyama makofa, you know. I was expecting say SN can 20 cities. Okay. But the buyer, you know, market conditions and the environment, you know, shows that SN may buy 15 cities. Some I incur a loss of 5 cities, and or you about
just a pa.
And no share 5 cities, no sabi makudi ana maria a situation at the market fluctuations and I consider that, which in economics we call it economic loss. Those with the business are accounting and finance, they call it opportunity cost. $214 million IMF, it has been lost on the side of Bank of Ghana, not even on the side of the Ghana Goldbod. And treasure says it can be a quack in the South of discard. That was not what it means. It's just like MPP government. The government decided to lose 25 billion cities to save 9 local banks. Yeah. You can't say that 25 billion cities now banning lose here to save 9 local banks. No, and we are calling for a bipartisan parliamentary probe. Kojo Oppong Nkrumah press conference, Eka said we should call for a bipartisan parliamentary probe into the 25 billion cities that the government used to save the 9 local banks. Okay, now 25 billion Ghana cities, every $240 million. DNS. When the Bank of Ghana in their 2022 financial statement, Omokache Ghana for said they have lost over 60.8 billion with a negative equity position of 51.1 billion. And no, 60.8 billion. Negative equity position of 55.1 billion. Any $240 million supposed losses. Or in about the end, so the Kojo Oppong Nkrumah and other MPs call for bipartisan parliamentary probe into the 60.8 billion and the negative equity position of 55.1 billion loss at the Bank of Ghana. Go for oil policy. You incur a losses of 2.14 billion. The Kojo Oppong Nkrumah and our MPs call for bipartisan parliamentary probe into the 2.14 billion into the loss I incur under the Ghana go for oil policy, supposedly introduced by Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. Did they do that? What kind of hypocrisy and double standard are we entertaining our body politics? Your own government incurred these losses, 2.14 billion under go for oil policy. 25 billion loss used to save 9 local banks, 60.8 billion, and a negative equity position of 51.1 billion. All these losses were incurred under your watch, under your government. The MPs then, on the majority side, by Kojo Oppong Nkrumah and others, Omugo do press conference, capture the good people of Ghana, said, we are calling for parliamentary probe into these losses. If we're able to do that, then now we can take it serious. Because where I said, and looking at the figures, you cannot convince me, say, a loss of 2.14 billion under go for oil policy, a 25 billion loss in the financial banking sector cleanup, 60.8 billion, 55.1 billion loss at the Bank of Ghana, compared to 214 economic loss caused by opportunity cost. at the end of Bank of Ghana side, not even at the end of Ghana Goldbod side, I should support this cause. Or I should come and applaud you say you are doing a good job. You are not doing a good job. You are not being honest and sincere to the people and to the issues at stake. I completely disagree with them. And about in all
what is it about? And then moving forward, what should we do to correct it?
In all of this, using 2.14 billion under good for oil policy. See the one thing I found 10.51. What they call 17. We find going about 14, 15. Now so good is 214 million. You keep the dollar at 10.51. Or here, I don't know, so you are good at figures. Say 17 from 10.51. You do that thing. Now multiply in dollar terms. This is the amount of money that the government has helped businessmen and women and the business community at large save on their investment. So if the government incurred a loss of $214 million to save the investment of the business community with a differential of 17 minus 10.51, if you make it secure the business community as saving under the loss of the $240 million loss. So if the government bear a loss, you see the monies and the investments of the citizens in terms of CD to dollar or is it not something that you should applaud the government? Because if you're able to applaud the government of spending $25 billion to save 9 local banks and the funds of depositors, now our bank will also $240 million to save people's monies under the exchange rate fluctuations. You have to tap the government at the back. Don't come to us and call for parliamentary probe, whereby your time several severe losses were incurred and you were quiet about it. When every people put to you, you run away from it. When you do that, you are not being sincere. And however, if you take MPP, our constitution, I don't know if you have a copy before you. If you look at Article 2 of our party constitution of aims and objectives of the party, 15 says that we as members of the New Patriotic Party, we need to recognize and guarantee the ownership of property by individuals, either alone or in association with others.
What kind of property owning democracy?
Article 15, yes, say to create a climate in which private enterprise will thrive and citizens and foreigners alike may invest without fear and without unnecessary bureaucratic restrictions and impediments in order to create wealth and prosperity for the citizens and people of this country. This is the aim and objectives of our party. It's seriously underpinned by Article 36 of the 1992 Constitution. We say that the government should create an environment which affords ample opportunity for individual initiative and creativity in economic activities, and foster an enabling environment for a pronounced view of the private sector in the economy. And on the Procurement Act, it allows for a single source procurement, which some of us call it sole source. We have several procurement methods and tendering procedures. And here there be an allow for competition. From US, UK to all the advanced countries, there are certain areas of the economy you don't allow for competition. That is why in our Public Procurement Act, 663 as amended Act 914, it allows room for restrictions, allows room for single source procurement for certain industry or for certain procurement of goods and services. And it's all the MPP now believing in 15, 16 objectives of our party. Now believing in Article 36 of the 1992 Constitution, we talk about economic objectives of the country. Why must you do press conference and attack an indigenous company like Power Rock Limited? That means clearly, I wouldn't have a doubt about your membership as far as the New Patriotic Party is concerned. One kind of party now, you don't understand it, but what are they privy to? Over your press conference now, the caption me say, Power Rock Limited. Yes, if you bury me in corporate, I say, my goodness. before even you hurriedly came for this press conference, you should have done due diligence, with proper research. Who told you Bawa Rock was incorporated in February 2025? What kind of joke is that? However, Bawa Rock received its certificate of incorporation on 14 January 2015. Not 2025. 14 January 2015. That is one. And the company was licensed by Precious Minerals Marketing Company as a gold buyer on 10th March 2016. Now license never ended 9th March 2017. So where from this your February 2025 nonsense? Even under the new Patriotic Party, this same government, under NPP, our government, this same company, Bawa Rock Limited, under NDC First Mahama government, Bawa Rock Limited, received one license from 10th March 2016 to 9th March 2017. 2017, I have a power. Under our NPP government, this Bawa Rock Limited, received 3 separate licenses as a gold buyer. 15 February 2019 to 14 February 2020. That are not abandoned also. It was Akufado's government, NPP's government. 20th October 2022 to 9th October 2023. Now abandoned also. NPP government, Akufado's government, which Oppong Nkrumah was the Minister of Information then, and subsequently reshuffled to Welfare Housing.
Right.
15th August 2024 to 15th August 2025. Throughout the 2024, at the time of 16th August, renewal license 16th August 2024. Not Akufado's government also. Namely, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah was a minister in that government. 2025 August, and another time license middle. Goldbod was established on 2nd April 2025. And through the Ginobel Catcher said the company was incorporated in February 2025. Are you being sincere? Are you being honest? All the MPs that came there to do that press conference, were they sincere? Were they honest? The good people of Ghana? They need to apologize.
But you also mentioned that they are only happy about the monopoly. What do you suggest?
The monopoly. So now the fact remains, say, Wontumi TV a TFO, and you know, correct. The company was incorporated in February.
That one I have seen their incorporated certificate, which I agree with you.
14 January 2015. NPP by MMO 3 separate licenses on 15 February 2019, 20th October 2022, 16th August 2024. Let's go to the monopolization that they are talking about. Aggregator. We should open up for competition. We should do that, and that. Fine. That's a good suggestion anyway. But they forgot say under our own government, Minerals Income Investment Fund, AGV Gold Race Company Limited, as a sole aggregator for gold trading. What did they say to that? I invite you can call them and ask them.
I am happy bringing out all these things because it's open the discussion. Then we discuss it as Ghanaian people.
If Gold Rage Company Limited, under our government, was licensed as a sole aggregator for Minerals Income Investment Fund, you were quiet about it, you were excited about it, and you were voiceless against it. You never advocate for competition. You never advocate for transparency. You never advocate for let's give opportunity to others. You clap and tap the government at the back. Was it because of your government? And you only speak the truth when it is about your government? You need to be sincere throughout. Whether if you will be sincere throughout. Don't only speak the truth when it favors you, and you resort to lies when the truth is against you. and your first answer build a credible political party.
Right.
So as they have no justification in that area because Goldbod Company Limited was licensed so aggregator for meth and the gold for oil policy. And another thing we also need to clearly point it out to people to understand. They say, I think from fact, Chairman, there are a number of not those. But
and now you go for the knee back.
I am not theater to patch. I'm about to patch up. If go for reserve programmer, a patch of a different team, and yet Dr. Mahmoud Baumia and a day or your originator say, I didn't need one or the other. And yes, I next year. Or born home we're coming up with a revised version. But we can't say that or no any divide. Go for reserve policy no. A Bank of Ghana and a charge here. In 1961, at the time that Nkrumah a president.
It's good for reserve.
Bank of Betima check the facts. Bank of Ghana SRT go for reserves in 1961 at the time of Nkrumah's presidency. 1962, and almost suspended because at that time now the pricing of gold above from par now or man suspended and kept having. And at that time, so now all the countries know shifted to say all reserve gold, no why no reserve dollar and other security as a reserve asset. And Mujai. And Dr. Mahmoud Baumia's Excellency, you are on the year then. Or in the date of birth. You are on the 7th October 1963. You are on the 7th October 1963. Gold for reserves was introduced by Bank of Ghana in 1961. 2 years after His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. Everyone at the catcher is the originator of Gold for Reserve policy. At the time, he introduced a crown on Maminian.
Gold for
in June 2021. My board Dr. NS Addison Abaso. And we're going to introduce domestic gold purchase program. And also now a revised version of the Gold for Reserve policy at Bank of Ghana SRC in 1961. I was suspended because of price of gold on the market. In March 2022, under Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, certain fuel prices being higher again. And all they go for oil policy by to ensure that stability of fuel prices on the market has completely nothing to do with go for reserve policy. Certain no bulk oil distributors, how are they instead of the dollar near the day, no certain dollar high prices of fuel high near the day. And Mahmoud Baumia came out with go for oil policy to ensure that fuel price stability. Has nothing to do with go for reserves. It was not originally intended for go for reserves. And now in April 2025, Jomama also the Ghana Goldbod ABA. Not to ensure price stability on the market, but to ensure stability of the cedi against the major trading currency. So these are the facts in that particular spectrum of the industry as far as the go for reserve policy is concerned. Your fan of credit entity or my politics, okay, and destroy indigenous businesses. It doesn't help anybody. Or maybe your 4 levels of political power. Politicians only control one aspect. That's the political power, which is controlled by the ruling government and the major opposition party. And those with the economic and financial power, the business community. And the business community for Kase, Abano, the basic form. If exporters and importers stop trading, Abano, the basic form. If all business community, entrepreneurs and all of that decide to go and pull their money from the banks, you collapse all the banks, Abano, the basic form. So these people are very powerful when it comes to the scheme of powers in this country. Asani Abba, the traditional powers led by our Otumfo and other paramount chiefs. Then we have the religious power led by our clergy. They also control people. So when you're a politician, make sure say you are only controlling only one aspect of the political powers within any jurisdiction. The other three powers are ganging up to our also very we shouldn't use politics.
Raza Kojo Poku, I don't know. 5 minutes after 8, afi member aso ene foku emremwe na yemra emedin komo and pay your person mama ye calculations but just member see. I as if you had them say I seen a mass yesterday no. I seen a fancy Di Maria there. But these are some of the things that sometimes you know.
But they forgot say under our own government, numerous income investment fund, AGV Gold Rose Company Limited, as a sole aggregator for gold trading. What did they say to that?
Eti abusa for aha ene yade dwumade ni esi aha yaha ne yade dwumade ni nyina ebesi pepepe na eye Razak Kojo Poku ene yekofa na no dinsam efri Wontumi TV so ono ene oheneba nana asidu sankrofo nyina eye MPP4 ane na so ohwe direction na omode ensam no ekono a uhunu se no credit pempen was in the pempen sometimes ekuo bi se nyoma bi enko yi a ye onkrofo bi ho no mo a omutumi ebeka no kre na mo akasa wasa motem ase moti ase se eye esi ano MPP amanyoku no akoye bibia wo ho because of Ken Kennedy Japan any Baumia fashion nti no ama ebinim wo ho no mo a ase ensem bi a memfa na say eye no kre a omohu say omo party for no because of political expediency into omo person omo propaganda e de kata nyoma so no na omo aba abonten na omo be kan kre say hey masa munja ne mo ye ne right go omo ni say enyoma no do na eye mrahye badwafo no etete ho no omo ye no they do it in favor of Dr. Mahmoud Baumia ani they know entine ba ne sa pe no my quick no ma be respond pepe send be kate short that kind of political offense and joke no abusa for PENDREAM TV so make sure also subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share to other platforms. MIN Ane. Said ye canon ye ka PENDREAM TV. I say Edem Yopo.
My never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. I say Edem Yopo.